Imagine a man earning more than $100 million in a single year, in the roaring 20s no less. This man is none other than Al Capone, the notorious gangster and businessman whose empire was built on bootlegging, gambling, and ruthless violence. Welcome to a journey through the life of one of history's most infamous figures. Fact 10. Al Capone was a promising student. Yes, you heard it right. Before his life of crime, Capone was a bright kid who excelled in school, but his fiery temperament led to his expulsion at the age of 14 for hitting a female teacher. Fact 9. He was never convicted for murder. Despite being responsible for countless deaths, Capone was never officially charged with murder. He had an uncanny ability to keep his hands clean, often hiring others to do his dirty work. Fact 4. Capone was finally convicted for tax evasion. It wasn't murder, bootlegging, or racketeering that brought Capone down, but the failure to pay his taxes. In 1931, he was sentenced to 11 years in prison, from which he served 4.5 years in Alcatraz. Fact 8. Capone's business card read, "Used furniture dealer." This was a clever cover for his illicit activities. Capone was known for his cunning, and this seemingly innocent disguise allowed him to operate in plain sight. Fact 7. Capone contracted syphilis as a young man. He never sought treatment, and the disease eventually led to his mental decline. He spent his final years in a state of confusion and despair, a stark contrast to his previous life of power and influence. Fact 6. He was a modern Robin Hood. Capone was known to give generously to those in need. During the Great Depression, he set up one of the first soup kitchens in Chicago, feeding thousands of people daily. Fact 5. Capone's Valentine's Day massacre was his downfall. The brutal attack, which left 7 men dead, turned public opinion against him. The authorities, under immense pressure, finally took action. Fact 3. The notorious gangster was afraid of germs. Despite his violent lifestyle, Capone had a fear of germs and often insisted on using cutlery only once before it was thrown away. Fact 2. Capone loved jazz music. He was a big fan of jazz and often frequented jazz clubs. He even helped musician Fats Waller, kidnapping him for 3 days to play at his birthday party. Finally, Fact 1. Capone died in his sleep at the age of 48. His final days were spent in his mansion in Florida, far from the streets of Chicago where he built his empire. To recap, Al Capone, a promising student never convicted for murder, a supposed furniture dealer, a victim of syphilis, a modern Robin Hood, the mastermind of the Valentine's Day massacre, a tax evader, a germaphobe, a jazz enthusiast, and died a lonely death. These are the 10 surprising facts about the life of Al Capone, a man who, despite his criminal deeds, left a mark on history that won't be forgotten.